seem to spend half my life in the witness box these days.
Yeah, I'll be glad when I can come to court and not get called a liar.
In your dreams, Mike. In your dreams.
DC Carver, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
in the case
right.
of Holland
Yeah.
and PC Jarvis?
Yep.
I'm Reggie Newman, CPS.
Pleased to meet you.
Hi.
Mr. Kamal, counsel, wanted a quick word with you.
You all right?
Oh, thank you. We're always overloaded. Mr. Kamal? Mr. Kamal, this is DC Carver, PC Jarvis.
You've got copies of your statements?
Yeah, thank you.
And your notebook never turned up, Mr. Carver?
No, I'm sorry.
Can't be helped. One of those things.
What do you think Holland will get?
If he is convicted, 5 to 9 years.
Good. Baxter still haven't got over it.
But I ought to warn you, the chances of Holland going down for this aren't too good.
He got off last time.
The evidence against him isn't very strong. But I've spoken to counsel for the defense, who's warned me that she intends to apply to have your evidence of Holland's admissions ruled out.
Oh, great.
I will oppose it, of course. But if they're successful in excluding the admissions, then they'll almost certainly succeed in persuading the judge to withdraw the indictment from the jury.
You mean throw the old case out at half-time?
Exactly.
Sierra Oscar 4 from Sierra Oscar.
Go ahead.
Right, girls, another robbo for you. Are you anywhere near 17 Downs Road?
Just round the corner, Sarge.
Charlie Miller got a 3-year ban in Brighton yesterday. Can you have a look at his place and make sure he's not taking a spin in the Mercedes?
Could you confirm registration?
I think we're wasting our time.
You should have brought your knitting.
Holland walks into a shop, pulls out a knife, frightens the proprietors half to death, nicks all the takings, and the CPS reckons he's going to walk again.
Actually, to be fair, Kamal has had his doubts about this one all along. He only agreed to give it a whirl after DCI Meadows had a word with him, filled him in on Holland's history.
If they think the case is so weak, I don't know why they bother.
I think I'll paint my front door that colour. What do you reckon?
Got to hand it to him. He's got taste. And money. That car must have cost a bomb.
Wages of sin.
We've had a message from one of the victims, Mr. Baxter. He's been held up.
Does that mean the trial will be delayed?
No, we'll kick off with Mrs. Baxter and we'll have to fit Mr. Baxter in after. If he hasn't turned up by then, we'll call PC Jarvis.
But Mrs. Baxter couldn't pick out Holland on the ID parade.
I know. We weren't going to call her. The defence wanted her.
Well, if Mr. Baxter don't turn up, we're in trouble. He's the main witness. But why don't they call for an adjournment?
On March 11th, at approximately 11:50 a.m., I went to Zenor Stores, Zenor Street, Sun Hill, where I saw a Mr. Baxter.
And did you have a conversation with Mr. Baxter?
Yes, Your Honour.
And what happened following this conversation?
I went across the road to the Admiral's Post public house, where I saw a man I now know to be Eric Holland. I identified myself and told him I wanted to question him about a robbery that took place at Zenor Stores on New Year's Eve. Mr. Holland said to me, "I can't help you there, sunshine." He then told me his name was Robert Braithwaite of 11 Bannister House, Netherlake Estate.
Liar!
Be quiet, Mr. Holland, or you'll go downstairs.
I thought you'd like to know Mr. Baxter's arrived.
Good one.
That's something to be grateful for, I suppose. The CPS have managed to get their chief witness.
Now, officer, we've already heard that you were present at the interview of Mr. Holland on the 11th of March. And Mr. Holland made no reply to any questions put to him.
That's correct, Your Honour.
As, of course, he had a perfect right to do. And later on the 11th of March, you were also present at a search of the defendant's flat at 27 Monier Avenue.
Yes, Your Honour. Detective Constable Carver and I made a search of the defendant's premises.
And I think it would be correct to say that nothing incriminating was found during the search.
Yes, Your Honour. Nothing was found.
Were you present
It was
throughout...
over 2 months since the robbery had taken place, however.
Confine yourself to answering the questions, please, officer. Were you present throughout the search?
I was, Your Honour. Though I did receive a call on my radio, and I left the room to take that call.
That was rather convenient, wasn't it? A radio call necessitating your temporary absence.
Couldn't say. Call came through and I answered it.
Did DC Carver ask you to leave the room?
No, Your Honour.
Are you sure? DC Carver didn't ask you to wait outside while he had a quiet word with Mr. Holland?
No, Your Honour.
Because as soon as you left the room, it is alleged that there was some conversation between Mr. Holland and DC Carver.
I wasn't there. I'd left the room at that time to take a call on my radio.
I hesitate to interrupt, Miss Salt, but this witness has indicated that he wasn't present at the time of the conversation.
Thank you, Your Honour. It was all very convenient, wasn't it? You leave the room and then there's no witness to any conversation between my client and DC Carver.
I don't know, Your Honour. I had a call on my radio and I left the room to answer that call. For security reasons.
Doesn't look like Charlie Miller's driving anywhere today.
No. Oh, someone's lost his key.
Oh, yeah? What's he up to?
He's going round the side.
Mr. Baxter, you've told the court that your shop was entered and you were robbed on New Year's Eve. And then, on the 11th of March, some 10 weeks later, you saw someone who looked like the robber in the street and called the police.
Yes.
You then attended an identification parade on the 12th of March, the following day, and identified that man, Mr. Holland, as the man who robbed your shop.
Yes.
Speak up, please, Mr. Baxter.
Yes.
It's quite likely, isn't it, Mr. Baxter, that you remembered Mr. Holland from seeing him in the high street the day before?
Yes.
He's going to agree with everything that woman says to him.
The robbery happened very quickly, didn't it?
I think so, yes.
The man rushed in, pulled a knife and grabbed the till money. You didn't get much chance to look at him properly.
Well, not really. It all happened very fast.
Terrifying experience.
Well, yes. My wife was very upset. She still is.
And naturally, during the robbery, your thoughts were on the knife and for your wife's safety, rather than concentrating on the robber's appearance.
That's right, yes.
At the time of the robbery, you described the robber as 6 foot tall and aged between 25 and 35.
That's what we thought at the time.
Having just seen the man. But would you accept that Mr. Holland is 5'9.5" tall and aged 23?
Well, if you say so.
Is it possible that you recognised Mr. Holland because he'd been into your shop at some time as a customer?
I don't know.
That perhaps he resembles the man who robbed your shop, but he might not be the robber?
I suppose...
Is it possible that you made a mistake when you saw Mr. Holland in the street on the 11th of March?
It's possible.
And then compounded the mistake by picking out the same man the following day on the identification parade?
I don't know.
But it's a possibility.
Well, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Baxter. You've told us, Inspector, how you conducted the identification parade on the 12th of March, and Mr. Baxter picked out my client as the man who robbed his shop 2 or 3 months earlier.
That is correct, Your Honour.
Could you tell the court, please, whether any other witnesses attended the identification parade on that day?
One other witness, Your Honour.
Can you put a name to that witness, please?
Certainly. It was Mrs. Baxter.
Did Mrs. Baxter make an identification?
No, Your Honour. Mrs. Baxter picked out another person in the lineup.
Unconnected with this case, a volunteer?
Correct.
Mrs. Baxter not only failed to identify Mr. Holland, she picked out the wrong person altogether.
Yes, Your Honour.
Thank you, Inspector.
There's been a break-in at 10 Fawcett Gardens. Young male, IC1. Short, fair hair, or mid to late teens, maybe. Wearing blue denims, 5'5", 5'6". Runs like a greyhound. There's a window broken, but nobody's home.
I'll see if I can find the occupier for you and get someone down to make it secure. Heading to Charlie Miller's.
Oh, great.
What's happening, sir?
They've sent the jury out. The defence have asked to hear your evidence in the absence of the jury, so the judge can rule on the admissibility.
Well, we expected an argument over the verbals.
There's only the verbals left. Apparently, the identification's virtually gone out the window. They'll lose the admissions as well, and it's all over.
Carver.
I'll get back to Sun Hill.
And during the search of the defendant's premises, was there any conversation?
Yes, Your Honour. At a point during the search, PC Jarvis received a radio call and left the room to take the call. At this point, Mr. Holland said, "You won't find anything, I'm not that stupid." I replied, "Are you telling me we're wasting our time then?" Mr. Holland then said, "I got rid of the knife weeks ago and the money's long gone. You'll never prove anything."
You bloody liar! I never said a word!
I won't warn you again, Mr. Holland.
Mr. Carver, you were present at the interview on the 11th of March when my client exercised his right to remain silent.
That's right, I conducted the interview.
And the duty solicitor was also present, Mr. Brogan?
Correct.
And after the interview, you decided to search the defendant's premises?
That's correct, Your Honour, after we'd verified the defendant's address.
Do you remember any conversation with Mr. Brogan about the search?
There was a conversation, but I couldn't recall it fully now.
Mr. Brogan offered to attend the search to safeguard his client's interests.
Well, he may have offered, but he didn't attend.
Because you told him there was no need?
Possibly.
Mr. Brogan was about to accompany his client on the search when he received another call.
Well, you best ask Mr. Brogan.
You said there was no need to worry about the search as you had no intention of interviewing his client during the search.
I had no intention of interviewing Mr. Holland. He instigated the conversation.
At a convenient moment. Without his solicitor. And without PC Jarvis.
Well, he chose that moment. I would have preferred he'd made those comments on tape and in the presence of his solicitor.
I suggest to you that he said nothing while PC Jarvis was out of the room.
Yes, Your Honour. I made a note of the conversation in the defendant's living room before returning to Sun Hill. I made a statement later the same day using my notebook.
Could I see that note, please, officer?
Unfortunately, no, Your Honour. The notebook has been mislaid sometime before committal.
An inquiry has been made for this notebook, officer?
Yes, Your Honour, but unsuccessfully. I have my original statement I made at Sun Hill the same day.
There was no conversation when Jarvis left the room, was there, officer?
Yes, Your Honour.
And there was no note in your notebook?
There was, Your Honour.
I shall seek to persuade you that evidence of the verbal admissions should be excluded under Section 78 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act on the grounds that the inclusion of such evidence, following serious and flagrant breaches of the codes of conduct, would have such an adverse effect on the fairness of the proceedings that Your Honour ought not to admit it, in that a weak and uncorroborated identification should not be left to the jury.
The evidence is that Mr. Holland initiated the conversation and Mr. Carver made a note of it, and Mr. Holland refused to sign the note when requested. This is not the case of a defendant unaware of his rights. There has been evidence that Mr. Holland is no stranger to the police station, nor is it the case of a defendant denied his rights. On the contrary, Mr. Holland and his solicitor were afforded every opportunity to consult in private as required by Section 58.
Get out the car, please, sir. Is this Charlie Miller's car?
Can I help you, darling? Or did you want a word with my new chauffeurs?
Accordingly, for the reasons I have stated, I find the defendant's confession both admissible under Section 78 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act and cogent evidence which would corroborate Mr. Baxter's identification. I therefore rule that there is a case to answer and sufficient evidence for the jury to consider.
All rise.
He's a fitter! He's a bloody fitter!
I have warned
He's
you,
lying.
Mr. Holland.
Just making
Take
it
that
all
man
up.
down till he can control
Bloody
his
liar!
tongue.
You're lying, all of you!
Isn't that him? The kid from Fawcett Gardens?
Looks like it. Hang on a minute, I want a word with you.
Sierra Oscar from 181 receiving.
Go ahead, Norika.
Assistance required, Nailfield Road, IC1.
Female, mid-teens, short fair hair, blue denim, heading north towards Waterman's Road.
Right, I'm in Gatley Crescent. I'll try and intercept Waterman's Road.
Thanks, Sarge. Hope you got your running shoes on.
Well done. The judge listened to your arguments.
Well, the judge hasn't got any time for the likes of Holland. It's the jury we have to worry about.
I'm going now. They say it'll be all right, and my wife doesn't want to wait round. She's too nervous.
Well, thanks for coming.
Oh, that's all right. The CPS lady said I've been a great help.
CPS would sensitive. Please return to court number 3, please.
Come out!
Get off! I've done nothing! Arresting you for attempted burglary. You don't have to say anything unless you wish to do so. What will you do? Say maybe given in evidence. Do you understand?
Did you drop this?
What?
Lost your key?
Mr. Holland, you told the court that when PC Jarvis left your flat to take a radio call, you remained silent all the time he was absent.
That's right.
There was no conversation at all.
He kept shooting his mouth off.
What did Mr. Carver say?
He said he's going to fit me up.
Anything else?
I'd be sorry I ever met him, and he's going to fit me up. Make sure I got sent down a long time.
But did you ever mention this to anyone? Did you tell your lawyers about this conversation?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't put to Mr. Carver when he gave evidence.
I can't help that.
Did you ever see the note of the conversation Mr. Carver made?
He never made a note. There was no conversation. How could he make a note of it?
Didn't he show you his notebook and ask you to sign it?
No.
Where were you last New Year's Eve at about 5:30 in the afternoon?
I wasn't even in the country. I was working in Germany for 3 weeks.
You were out of the country. Did you ever mention that to anyone?
Probably. Yeah, I did.
Because we've had no alibi notice about your trip to Germany.
I was in Germany. I went out just after Christmas, and I stayed there till the end of January.
I don't know what they're on about. I wasn't near no house in Full St Gardens, and I didn't smash no window either. And I've never seen that before in my life.
Look, you're going to get your opportunity to put your side of the story later. Now, look, Joanne, because you're 15, we're going to have to get your mother down here.
That's all I need.
All right.
It wouldn't be my normal practice to attend a Section 18 search, but in this case, I asked DC Carver if he had any objections to my presence.
Mr. Brogan, were you still at Sunhill when Mr. Holland returned from the search of his premises?
Yes, I think I was.
Was he asked to sign a notebook?
No, I don't think so. Now, hold on. Yes, that's right. DC Carver's notebook. Mr. Holland refused to sign it 19:30 hours, March the 11th.
So DC Carver's notebook was available and seen by Mr. Holland at that time?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Brogan.
I'm not convinced she had that piece of mica on her.
I don't know, she's fiddling with something at the front door.
I was right behind her all the way up Waterman's Road. I never saw her drop anything.
Mrs. Harvey, Joanne's mum's here, so we can interview when you're ready.
Right, Sarge. Sarge, why'd you say Harvey dropped that bit of mica?
What's the matter, Kath? You think I planted it?
No.
Interview room 1 when you're ready, then. There's only one thing you can use mica for, and that's slipping locks.
No reply.
It didn't work on the front door lock, so you smashed the window.
No reply.
Come on, Joanne, I saw you drop it.
Liar.
Throw it away, then. I saw you.
Don't say anything, Joanne. Don't tell him anything.
I saw you smash the window, Joanne.
No reply.
If we got it wrong, why don't you tell us?
No reply.
You're saying it wasn't you, then?
Of course she is.
Would you let her answer her own questions, please, Mrs. Harvey? Joanne?
No reply.
How'd you get on?
No reply.
Well, got off a burglary and possibly going to quit. You saw her drop the mica?
Well,
I saw her drop it.
I missed it, Sarge.
Kath?
No, Sarge.
What are you going to do? Well, you know what the CPS are like over corroboration.
Bob, don't talk to me about the CPS.
Well, they're going to need lots of evidence.
Right. Well, we'll go and turn her place over, then.
Mr. Holland, you first told this court that you had an alibi earlier this afternoon.
No,
Well, you said you were in Germany on New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Were you not in Sun Hill?
No.
Did you not report to Sun Hill Police Station on 31st December 1992 at 9 p.m.?
No.
I'm in a position to prove this, Your Honour. It is the person's reporting on bail form from Sun Hill Police Station. Would you have a look at the form, Mr. Holland, and tell us if that is your signature on 31st December, 9 p.m.?
No, that's not right.
It is your signature, isn't it? Have a look at the entry for 30th December and New Year's Day. You were signing on daily over the whole periods you claimed to be in Germany.
Hang on, I might have signed some of them, but not all.
Are you saying that the form is a forgery?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. I've been fitted up.
If you could just show us Joanne's room, please, Mrs.
I
Harvey.
thought you'd known your own way up by now. You've been here often enough.
Mrs. Harvey.
No, you listen to me. Every 5 minutes you pick my girl up and lock her in a cell and ask her stupid questions. She hasn't done anything. She's only 15, for heaven's sake.
This isn't helping.
You listen to me when you're in my house.
Oh, shut up, Mum.
I'm on your side. Don't tell me to shut up.
Let's have a little look upstairs, shall we?
I have warned you of the special need for caution in relying on identification evidence. However, if, and this is a matter for you, members of the jury, if you believe Mr. Baxter was right when he identified Mr. Holland as the man who robbed his shop on New Year's Eve, then you must look for evidence capable of supporting that identification. There are two possible ways of doing this. Firstly, if you believe that the defendant made the verbal admissions to D.C. Carver while his flat was being searched, then those admissions are capable of corroboration. Secondly, if you believe the defendant's evidence of the German alibi incredible because he was deliberately lying and acting from a guilty motive, then that too is capable of corroborating Mr. Baxter's identification.
No, the jury went out about 5-10 minutes ago. No, we'll hang on, Sarge.
PC Jarvis, your jury are coming back.
Blow me down with a feather, Sarge. They're back already.
It'll be another interview, Mrs. Harvey, and then the likelihood is she'll be charged. There you go. Come on.
Tell you what, though, I still didn't have that piece of mica.
Say what you like. Doesn't matter anymore, does it?
Members of the jury, on count one, have you reached a verdict on which you are all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the defendant, Eric Holland, guilty or not guilty of robbery?
Guilty.
6 years!
I never thought we'd get a result.
No, they shouldn't have called that solicitor.
If you hadn't realised about Holland signing...
And it's Holland we ought to thank. If he hadn't given evidence, I doubt we'd be celebrating.